Hello guys, welcome to my video, and this tutorial will be about the manual bombing mode that is simulated in the F16 Viper module within DCS. I assume you already know why you are here. You are already familiar with CCIP and CCRP bombing, so I will skip that, will not talk about those, but instead talk about the rarely used manual mode. Now, I assume you also know that this method is not a very precise way to deliver bombs, and it's basically a last resort when the computer is not able to calculate the release point or the impact point for the bombing via the HUD, or you have an INS malfunction within a warfare, and there is no possibility to accurately deliver computer-based calculations, and hence the last resort, the last possibility is the manual bombing mode. Now, there is a theory behind it. You need to understand what's the idea of delivering that method. So before we set up the aircraft, let's do some research on how it is actually working. Okay, so basically this table, what you see here, can be downloaded from the ED forums, and it was provided by WAGS. And what it shows is an extract of a bigger, most likely not public table of milliradian settings for manual bombing for certain weapon. In today's representation, we are going to use the CBU 97, so not the 87 but the 97, but those profile is basically the same. They are really similar, basically no change, and we are going to perform a 30-degree attack and a 45-degree attack. So what we are going to need from this table is the del, which is the dive angle, you can see here. We need the apex, which is the highest altitude. So this means that above this you can't release the bomb because it will not be a successful bombing targeting. For certain dive angle, it's a different value. This, the min, is the minimum angle where they say you're in profile. So below this, if you release the bomb, it will be slight offset, but it is true that the closer you get to the ground, the reticle will be getting much accurate. As for example, you can see in the CCIP paper, when you get really close to the ground, it will slide up, and you will see the actual impact point on the HUD. The ideal release of the bomb is here. For example, a 30-degree dive, ideal altitude is 9,400 feet. So when you are 9,400 feet, you're on a 30 dive angle, and your depression reticle is set to 261 millirads. The bomb will exactly land where the reticle is pointing to. So again, if you're doing a 30 angle dive, you are at the ideal altitude of 4,900 feet, and the reticle is set to value 261, then the bomb will land where the reticle shows. You can release at this altitude, you can release at below this altitude. They will still succeed, but with a minor offset to forward or aft. But for a cluster bomb, which destroys an area, it's relatively okay to move between these values. So it doesn't really matter if you release it somewhere between here. It's quite a big range, but still the bombs you will see, they will go where I want to. For a 45 is the same. 45 attack, you need to set the reticle to 225, and you need the ideal release point is 13.300 feet. You don't need these or these values. These are for pop-up attacks, and we're not covering in this video those. So when I say in the table it is set to 261 and 225 or 221, I'm referring to the mills column. I need to put the mill reticle to that position to perform a certain dive attack, 30-degree or 45-degree attack at most likely the ideal release point, ideal altitude. Okay, so get back to the cockpit and continue from there. Okay, so now after the theory, let's set up the aircraft for the manual bombing. First of all, we need to go to air-to-ground mode. Then we need to select the delivery mode, which is here man. Today we're going to use rather the CBU-97 cluster bombs. We have to enable the depression reticle via this switch here, put it to PRI. And of course, master arm must be on. So, a new symbology is presented on the HUD when you actually turn on the reticle. This reticle can be moved in a vertical way with the reticle depression knob. As you can see here, it goes up and down, and every position that the reticle stands comes with a numeric value. You can see here. Now it is 62. It goes from 0 to 260. This numeric value is the milliradians. It is calibrated, the HUD is calibrated to the body of the aircraft, so we can be sure that these numbers are actually correct. And what we are setting here is the value that is given by us, given to us by that table that comes from maybe the F16 weapon, the official F16 weapon delivery method document, which is maybe public, maybe not, but what can be downloaded from the ED forums that was provided by WAGS is a good example of what we can do within this video. It's a good tool that represents the bombing method. Okay, so for this example, let's put the reticle to 260 millirads. Okay, as you can see, it's pointing down there, and it's 260 millirads. What we are going to do is that I have set up some enemies right over there, and we are going to perform today a 30-degree dive, and we will try to comply with the speed, altitude requirements and angle requirements to actually make this point accurate. So as you can see on the table, we need the ideal altitude for releasing the bomb, the CBUs, is 9,400 feet. So I would start the bombing attack at around, let's say, 15,000 feet. Okay, so now let's turn on the active pause, turn it off, and we just navigate ourselves there. I think 15,000 feet is more than enough for this representation. I just want to let you know that I am not an expert in this method. I haven't trained enough to be precise and accurate, so I just would like to show you the method of what is the idea and how it is practical to do so. So let's wait a bit. There are the enemies, and I am trying to do an early 30-degree dive. You can see. Alright, let's go to somewhere here and check the parameters. Let's see the altitude. 4. Alright, let's stop here for a bit. Now, as you can see, the altitude is now ideal, 9,400 feet. The speed is 455 knots, which is relatively good. It should be 480, but 455 is somehow, let's say, within the profile. The dive angle, unfortunately, this is not enough. This is it's not good. It's 25, 24. I should be at 30, so I need to push down the nose a bit. And when it is showing you 30 degree, then we can assume that the bomb will land right there where the reticle is pointing at. So I just need to push down the nose a bit, and I will try to release 2 bombs, one in the middle and one somewhere on the edge. Let's see if I can make it or not. So now I'm turning off the active pause. Let's push down the nose a bit, and okay, release now, and away we go. I should expect something here and something here. No, actually this is good, because yes, I was dropping them on the right side, yes. So somewhere in the middle and somewhere in the edge. So we can say that this is relatively accurate, but you know, I was out of the profile. I was below the ideal release point. I was faster than 480, but it somehow went to where I wanted to. So I released at this line here. When we came from this direction, I released the first bomb here and released the second bomb here. So relatively accurate it went. Let's try another one. Maybe it will be a bit better. Alright, for the second attempt, I am trying to do a 45-degree attack. Let's pause the simulation here. So within the table it says for a 45 attack, we need to set the reticle to 225 or 221. Then change it to 221. And the ideal altitude to release the bomb is 13,300 feet. Now we are at 1,800 feet, so we have time to dive. 45 is quite steep, so we will lose altitude quite fast and we will gain speed quite fast. I'm trying to do my best for this 45 attack. Let's see how it goes. I need to get close, quite close for a 45. And this is a left-handed attack. I'm in a left direction. I tried to make it 45. Alright. Let's do it. If I can make it a 45. Let's see. We're on a 45 descent now. But we are way below the ideal profile, so releasing now in the middle and the edge. So the edge will not drop because I only have 2 bombs, so we will see. Somewhere there, yes. and somewhere here. The other should be somewhere here. I was out of profile, therefore I am not expecting this to be successful for a 45 degree. They were somehow too close. But I released the third one here, actually on the edge, and I released the two in the middle, so maybe this was accurate, because I pressed the weapon release 3 times, but the third one was here, so this is the second one is in the middle, so yes, might be this was after all a successful bombing. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Okay guys, so as a bonus, I will show you an even more challenging weapon delivery method when, let's say, the INS is totally malfunctioning and is not capable of showing anything. Basically, how I wish to demonstrate that is that I turn off the GPS on the navigation totally, where you can see here I don't see anything. Here the HUD, it will not show any proper information. However, what we can do is to put the depression reticle to standby, where you will see only the depression reticle here, without any kind of computerized information. However, the analog instruments are still available, so we will read the altimeter here. We will read the speed here. We have around 300 knots. We can't read from here because it's aux, you see. However, the dive can be read from here. It's a calibrated properly, let's assume. So we will read the dive angle here and the other stuff here. Now in the table it says that we need to put the reticle to around 221, 225 for a 45 degree attack. We will do a 45 degree attack, so let's say I put it to 223. I can't recall, it was 225, 221. Let's put it in the middle. So for a 45 degree attack, this is going to serve as a point. Now I should release the bombs at 13,300 feet, so I need to check the altitude here and to check the dive angle here. It's not going to be an easy one, it's relatively small, but let's try, maybe we will succeed. Okay, so the enemies are there. Well, I will give it a very small time to get above them for a 45 attack, and let's go. If I can make a 45 using that analog instrument, so let's see. Of course, in the real world there is no pause, you need to constantly check. Yes, it's exactly a 45 degree attack, and the altimeter is 1500. We lost already a ton, and yeah, it's like I should be like 450 when I release the bombs, but hopefully I will be able to. I just need to be a bit consistent with the profile. Let's see if I can make it or not. Okay, altimeter is okay. I'm in profile. Click, and the other bomb will be on the edge. All right, let's go. Okay, let's see where it goes. One of them should be in the middle and one of them should be somewhere in the edge. Yeah. Ah, yes, it was a bit out of the profile, but the first one was accurate. The second one is a bit out of profile, so it was, you know, slide over a bit. But anyway, it destroys the edge and it destroyed some in the middle. So I would say it is a relatively successful bombing, because I wanted them to go here and go here. But this is this is a nightmare situation. So even if you don't have INS, you need to rely on the analog systems. You can still deliver the bomb in 45 degree, or in any degree you wish, of course. Yeah. This needs a lot of practice, guys. And I haven't practiced a lot. I'm just trying myself even now in this video. But you get the idea how it should work, how to use the table and how to use the values. Or you can do your own tables by experimenting where the bomb goes and putting the rectile there. But this is a tutorial for another video. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know if this was useful or not for you. I wish you all the best and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.